And hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode number 155 of the CheckX series. If you're new here, as I say every single day, the CheckX series is pretty much all about me, your host Ivan, discussing everything that Elon discusses on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, the day before. Today we're going to discuss what he discussed yesterday on somebody discusses, but he discussed yesterday on Sunday, May 10th, 2026. He posted just around, happy Mother's Day, by the way. He posted just around, just around 40 times yesterday, and we're pretty much just going to get right into the episode here, not to keep this intro rolling too long for you guys. Starting off, as we usually do in most of these episodes, with Tesla and automotive technology. Starting off this segment, Elon shared data from the Tesla fleet showing real-world collisions to illustrate how simulation and vision-based technology improve safety. Very cool. Also, Elon highlighted a new update where Tesla Vision allows airbags to deploy up to 70 milliseconds earlier by detecting unavoidable collisions, which we talked about last episode. Also, Elon shared a comparison showing that Tesla AI Vision, using photon count reconstruction, can see much more clearly at night through extreme glare than the human eye. Very cool. I actually never knew about that. So obviously, so much new thing going on with the Tesla Vision, and cameras are pretty much just superior to LiDAR and stuff like that. But anyway, moving on to SpaceX and aerospace here, just two things down onto the episode, so we're going to get through this quickly. But starting off, Elon posted about the first full stack of Starship and Super Heavy version 3 at the Starbase launch pad, calling it a beautiful rocket. Going to be excited to see that one take off. And last but not least, Elon also reposted the sentiment that sufficiently advanced engineering is indistinguishable from art, noting that this is a foundation of his philosophy. And moving on to Neuralink and neurotechnology, just two things also to add on to the episode, so we're going to blast through this once again. But to start off, Elon reposted a video from Noland Arb, the first Neuralink patient, who described how the implant allowed him to control a computer with his thoughts, play video games, and even return to school. Very cool. Also, the discussion noted that Elon's technology is helping paralyzed people walk and blind people see. So, again, Neuralink is a very cool thing. It's theoretically controversial and not something I can completely disagree on, but it's cool. It's somewhat cool nonetheless. But moving on to economic and political ideologies here for this episode. Starting off this segment, Elon argued that free market capitalism is the answer to societal problems and has the strongest moral argument because it improves the standard of living. Also, Elon criticized socialism as being parasitic and focused on redistribution rather than recreation. And Elon also labeled communism as the most dangerous ideology of all time. I agree, citing a historical death toll of 100 million people. Last but not least for this segment, Elon agreed with the assertion that the Nazis were the National Socialist Party. Moving on to social issues and governments, the last segment of this episode. To start off, Elon criticized Governor Gavin Newsom's plan to provide free diapers, agreeing with his sentiment that it was a dumb and convoluted way to hand NGOs more money. So ironically, but moving on, Elon also questioned why diversity is primarily pushed on white nations and agreed with a post stating that social justice is just a modern name for envy. Last but not least for the episode, Elon commented on a case in Sweden involving an immigrant crime and a lack of criminal liability, agreeing that the country is suffering from stage 5 suicidal empathy, which we've talked about a lot and said that phrase many, many times on this CheckX series. But like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps up episode number 155 of the CheckX series. If you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you for watching. I recommend dropping a like, commenting, and subscribing if you haven't already. I also recommend going back and watching some of the other recent CheckX episodes just to get a nice little sequence of events going for you, if you would like, obviously, based on what Elon's saying every single day, because at the end of the day, that is what the CheckX series is about. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this episode number 155. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.